Hello, and welcome to Two Against None. I'm James.
And I'm Ray.
And this is our debut video, and we're going to give you our blend of entertainment and review. If you enjoy our style, please hit that like button, and if you really enjoy, please hit that subscribe button for future videos. And, alright then.
Today, we are here to review the Nerf rival Artemis. This is the newest blaster in the Nerf rival line, and it's one of the best springers on the market right now. The Artemis hosts an internal 3-barreled chambered 30 total rounds, with each chamber holding 10 rounds. It has both single fire and slam fire, and my favorite part is you can reload ammo into these chambers on the fly. The ammo itself rests up against the 4 barrels in the front. As you prime the blaster, these barrels rotate toward the bottom chamber where they are fired from. The mechanism drains ammo from right to left until each individual chamber is emptied. As a note, if you're running low on ammo and need to make every shot count, make sure you load your rival rounds in the leftmost chamber first, or else you will be priming and dry firing your blaster until the ammo fully rotates to the bottom. There is a priming indicator on the blaster that is small and hard to read. However, it is there to let you know if your blaster is primed. I have found it more useful to attempt to prime the blaster a second time. You will quickly find that the priming handle does not move if the blaster is already primed. Of course, you could always just pull the trigger, but then you run the risk of misfiring or dry firing your blaster. We took some FPS tests with this blaster. We just loaded up a full 30 rounds, fired all of them to see what our average was. This is stock, straight out of the box, and it was getting an average of about 88. So that's amazing. That's huge. I think stock, most Nerf stuff is like 70, so this thing's getting about 90 right out of the box. It feels like they're just flying out of there. So we did some range tests with the Artemis, and firing flat was getting about 40 feet before it hit the grass, and at an angle of about 30 degrees we were getting about 65 feet, which is pretty awesome ranges. And we had some wind on our tests, but in general they fly incredibly well. Here's our target dummy, the PVC pipe with the black tape at exactly 5 feet high. We were about 30 feet away, taking shots aiming at the tape with this blaster. And as you can see, it's just about dead on at 30 feet. I mean, there's some stray stuff, but in general, anytime you see that pole wiggle, that's me hitting the actual PVC. This is me slam firing it, and I start to get my gangster on as I have to tilt the blaster. There's no stock, so it's hard to hold steady, but in general, at that angle kind of made it a little easier to get those rounds firing straighter. And still a little wild, but in general, there's the marker at 5 feet, and I'm getting pretty close to that PVC pipe.
So, Ray, we did some reviewing on the Artemis. Any other thoughts?
Lots of thoughts.
It's good.
The safety is a little bit of a pain in the butt for left-handed users because my finger is right there.
Okay.
So I find myself sometimes hitting it and then not being able to pull the trigger. That's something. Reloading on the fly is fantastic. You always want to start with the leftmost tube, as that's the one. Rightmost tube? Yeah, because that's the one that will always load.
Leftmost.
Leftmost.
I talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
No problem.
Whatever.
But yeah, your ammo doesn't fall out no matter what you do to it.
Yeah, that was really cool. And I also like that you can actually fire it while this is back and it's primed and you're loading. So if you happen to...
Yeah, the only thing that the slide does is uncompress the springs to keep the balls in place. So if you do have it back, as long as you're pointing it down, good to go.
Yeah.
Your ammo never falls out. You can absolutely front load it. You can front load it twice to shotgun. There's just a lot of fun stuff you can do with this.
So things that we want to talk about that we want to improve upon. I really wish there was some kind of stock on this thing. It's compact and really awesome, but there's just not really a shoulder mounty way to fire it, and it's really difficult, especially when you are slam firing trying to aim. So unless you're doing some cool trick shots, it'd be really helpful to have a stock.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, slam fire without a stock is pretty miserable. Out of Darts is making a replacement piece, which is pretty awesome. I think you undo a screw or two in the back, you pull this piece out, and you put his piece in, and it is just a standard Nerf attachment point for all stocks. He's also made a replacement for the grip. It's a shotgun grip, undermounted, looks really slick, kind of a small profile. He talks about it in his video, which we will link below. So some really cool stuff there. The attachment points are kind of lame. I mean, I don't know why you would want your blaster to. I prefer my blasters to kind of hang horizontal.
Yeah,
so.
I've done this point for sling attachments, and actually it's pretty helpful there. But on the back end, I just never liked it.
Right.
Try to keep it as close as you can. Keep it that shotgun feel.
Suppose you could put a sling point on the tack rail at the top, but I don't know.
Yeah. Otherwise, though, this is like my new favorite blaster. This is amazing. I have a bunch of modded stuff, and it's just so easy. Pick it up, buy it, it's good to go. I think the price point is $44.99. We picked ours up at Target, and yeah, it's just a killer blaster. I love it.
Now, that being said, we do play indoors almost exclusively at this point because it is the rainy season, so our range is indoors. You're really never shooting more than about 40 feet, which is kind of where this thing starts to drop off. So outdoors might be a completely different ball of wax, but for indoor play, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great, especially when there's no wind.
Yeah, and a drop pouch full of balls at your side, and you're never running out of ammo.
Yeah,
so.
we've done a lot of indoor arena type stuff, and instead of having like a full loadout, I'll just rock this, and like you said, just a pouch with just a pile of rounds, because you can fire, pull back, load, keep going, fire, pull back. I mean, I'll just be out there until I get tagged, and it's awesome. I don't got to worry about magazines or anything like that. Just move and shoot, move and shoot. So.
Yep, and then that kind of, you don't need a sling at that point either. So
yeah,
but yeah, fantastic. I feel kind of bad for anybody who got an Apollo and spent a lot of money on a pump grip on it, because I feel like this thing almost replaces it. But if mag-fed blasters is your style, it still has a sweet spot for that. But I do feel like it's pretty much better than the Apollo in almost every way, but you are paying twice as much for its stock. So
that's true.
But on the other hand, if you buy an Apollo, you're going to need mags. So those are at best $5 a piece, and at worst probably 11. So you're going to catch up real quick if you're buying mags for an Apollo.
Yeah, this is kind of the version 2 of the Apollo, if you will. The Apollo was amazing when it came out, super awesome stock blaster, but it's been out for 2-3 years now, and this is the replacement. This is where to go. Ray talked about there's a pump kit that Taobao makes that actually puts a pump grip on the front of your Apollo, so it is really good, but as soon as this hit the shelves, it just kind of makes it obsolete unless you are into mag-fed blasters.
And it's also got a stock on it, so you can absolutely shoulder it, which
That's
you can't
true.
do with this yet until...
we can put a link to that in the description as well, because we actually have friends that actually have the Apollo kit, and it's still awesome, and it still works great.
It's still absolutely scary
it's still a
indoors.
monster.
So, yeah.
And of course, all of the products we talked about will be linked in the description box below. And another thing we wanted to add is we do have a Patreon account. We are new and starting up. If you want to donate to the cause, we would very much appreciate your assistance. And at some point, we'll have benefits and giveaways and things of that nature. And we want to thank everybody for watching today. Seeing as how this is one of our first videos, if you have any suggestions, comments, advice to things you want to see more of, less of, please let us know in the comments below. So we can kind of get a feel for what you guys want to see. Thank you.